This is part 1 and part 2 of our 5th and final chapter of our Mystery Museum Whodunnit. Case closed. The curator was straight to business on the kids' last day at the museum. As the kids arrived, the curator immediately introduced Miss Purple. It's time for our final performance by Miss Purple. Today, she is playing the part of Miriam. Miss Purple entered as usual through the curtain in front of the portrait wall. She introduced herself. I am Miriam, and I am a fearless prophet. I lived long ago in the land of Egypt, and my people were enslaved by the Egyptians. I remember that when I was very young, all of my people's little boys were taken away. But my mother put my little brother in a basket on the Nile River. I followed that basket down the river and into the palace of the princess. When the princess found my brother, I ran up to her and asked if I should go get a servant to take care of him. I secretly brought my mother so that he could be raised by his family and still become a prince of Egypt. My little brother was Moses, and I am his sister, Miriam. As a prophet, I listened to God and helped the people escape slavery and find the promised land. Miriam really did do all of that, the curator added. Miss Purple flung the curtain aside to make her exit and discovered the final portrait missing and said, "Another portrait is gone. This is the last one. What are we going to do?" Shirky jumped forward. "We are going to solve this case. I'm not waiting around. Let's find a clue right now. There has to be something out of the ordinary here that would give us a clue." "There's a note right here," said Miss Purple. "That was fast," said the curator. Shirky reached out her hand for the scrap of paper, and Miss Purple gave it to her, so she read it aloud. This one says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." It's another beatitude from Jesus. What do all of these things mean? "We don't know. You're the detective," Miss Purple replied. "I think if we get on with our day, the solution might simply appear," said the curator. "I suppose that might be true, but shouldn't we—" Miss Purple was not even able to finish her question before the curator was ushering her and the kids out of the portrait gallery. She thought Shirky might protest, but she just stood staring at the empty portrait wall. Later that day, the kids had a great time in the ancient Egypt experience. They got to see mummies, giant statues, and a replica of a pyramid that they could even climb on. The kids' favorite part of the exhibit seemed to be the giant wall of hieroglyphs. These were the special drawings that Egyptians used as their language. They looked wonderful and mysterious on the wall. The kids enjoyed using the guidebooks nearby to try to translate what the wall said. The curator was even there to help them. The curator also had a clipboard and was asking the kids a question. "What is your favorite book?" Each answer was written down on the clipboard. The curator even asked Miss Purple. "Hamlet, of course," she replied. "Why are you asking everyone for their favorite book anyway?" The curator turned to her with a big smile and said, "I'm part of a special team starting a new library here in town. We already have lots of old books here at the museum that I'm willing to let go of, but we don't have any books for kids. A special donor has offered to buy the children's books. We just have to come up with the right list of books to get." "Curator?" Miss Purple keenly asked. "Yes, Miss Purple," the curator replied. "Are you the special donor?" Miss Purple asked. "Let's just say that a couple of the Mystery Museum statues have been sold to another museum, and they just happen to be the same price as 1,000 kids' books." A few of the kids heard this whole conversation. They hadn't realized how much the curator cared about kids like them. These kids also noticed the weird painting hanging by the favorite book clipboard station. It featured a woman wearing sunglasses and holding a speaker. The painting's plaque read, "Blarum." This is the end of parts 1 and 2 of chapter 5 of our Mystery Museum Whodunnit.